If you're someone who's never worked out before, never gone to a gym consistently, with a routine discipline to go there however many days you decided a week and go there every single time and put 100% focus in, you are not living up to your true potential in life. Exercise is one of the most important and beneficial things that you can ever put any effort or time or money into. It has the greatest return on investment because your physical health will be improved, your mental health will be improved, and even your productivity, your confidence, everything goes up as you exercise and develop your dream 10 out of 10 body. And as Socrates said, it is a shame for a man to grow old without seeing the beauty and strength that his body is capable of. Do you want to grow old without seeing the beauty that your body is capable of? The aesthetics that it can achieve if you simply dedicate a few hours a week for maybe like 5 years. Then you can see it. You can witness the true potential in strength and aesthetics that you can get. Exercise has some of the most amazing benefits of any activity that you can do. For example, you'll live longer, you'll live with more excitement, you can improve your memory and even brain function, protect against many chronic diseases, lower your blood pressure, lose weight, build muscle, improve your quality of sleep, reduce feelings of anxiety and depression, strengthen your bones and muscles, improve your ability to do everyday activities better, become stronger, become more aesthetic, increase self-confidence, and it will even make you more attractive in your face as well as your body. And did you know that 76% of millionaires exercise for at least 30 minutes a day, 4 days a week, whilst in the United Kingdom, only 61% of adults exercise regularly. As Mark Zuckerberg and Richard Branson said, exercise is the key to a prosperous life. If you have never exercised a day in your life, I suggest that you don't go to the gym immediately. I suggest that you instead focus on building up some core strength, some basic strength, instead of going to the gym and then being intimidated by the extreme weights that there is there. Powerlifting Strongman gym, and they literally have a dumbbell that weighs 76 kg. That's heavier than me. So you go there and you see that and you'll get intimidated and you might decide to quit. However, I suggest that you start off with some basic calisthenics. So for example, doing some push-ups, some squats, some sit-ups, maybe going for a run or a walk at the start, maybe for the first few weeks. Remember, this isn't a sprint, this is a marathon. And you only win if you keep on going consistently. If you quit, you could go sprint for the first part, but then you'll get a cramp and quit. Whilst if you start with gradual, and then as the race goes on, you increase your intensity, then you're going to finish marathon first. Even if you can only do one push-up, or you can only walk 1 mile, the next week, try increase it. Try work harder. So the next week, if you can only do 1 push-up this week, try to do 2 push-ups. Try walk 2 miles. This is a principle called progressive overload, which I'll be talking about in the next video. So if you have that basic setup done, you've done your calisthenics, you know that you're fit, you have a baseline fitness that enables you to go to the gym, and you want to go there, you want to start bodybuilding training or powerlifting in the gym, then here I'm going to give you an exact, basic, step-by-step guide to going to the gym, going consistently, building up the discipline, and how to build the body of your dreams as soon as possible. The first step is to have a goal. If you don't have a goal, you have nowhere to go. You have no journey, so you have to pick a goal. Do you want to become stronger? Do you want to become more aesthetically pleasing? Do you want to increase your cardio and increase your stamina? Or do you simply want to become healthier? So once you choose your goal, it will help you choose what type of training that you want to do. For example, stuff like powerlifting, Olympic weightlifting, and strongman will all increase your strength Bodybuilding, which I participate in, will increase your strength not as much as the previous three, and it will increase your aesthetics by building up your muscle mass in your key aesthetic muscles. Endurance training is for those who want to increase their cardiovascular or muscular endurance. So they want to become a marathon runner, or you're a martial artist. That's a good pick for them. And CrossFit is for those who want to waste time, energy, money, and vomit after every session. So don't do CrossFit. Now that you've picked your goal and the type of training that you'd like to do, you have to understand what each type is and what to expect from each of them. So we're going to start off with Strongman. Now, I would not recommend this for beginners, but if you already have that bulk, that muscle, then I'm sure you can participate in it and do well. So this is going to consist of very heavy lifts, and lifts such as the axle press, the Atlas stone lift, the deadlift, tire flips. It involves lifting at a maximal intensity and exerts all of your muscular strength along with your grip strength. So examples of great strongmen are Eddie Hall, Brian Shaw, Thor. So if you want to do strongman, you definitely need to bulk up and build up a ton of mass to be successful at it, to have that concrete foundation to allow you to lift such heavy stuff up. The next type of training is called powerlifting, and this also consists of very heavy lifts. So this would be 90 to 100% plus of your 1 rep max. However, the key difference between this and strongman is this consists of only 3 lifts. So you have the bench press, the squat, and the deadlift. You can train like isolated muscles for each of them. However, the main 3 exercises that you'll be doing will be those 3 key ones. Those 3 compound ones which target almost all the muscles in your body. For example, the bicep will target your pectoralis major, your bicep brachii, your tricep brachii, your anterior deltoid. The deadlift will train the glutes, the hamstrings, the quadriceps, the lower back and upper back muscles, along with the hip flexors. The squat trains the quadriceps, the hamstrings, the glutes, and the calves. So those 3 compound exercises will target almost every muscle in your body. You will have to dedicate an enormous amount of time to be able to be successful and lift extremely heavy, like multiple times your body weight for each of those lifts. So if you want to think of some examples of power lifters, you can think of Mark Henry, former WWE champion and the world's strongest man, and also Ray Williams, who I believe holds the record for the heaviest squat in history. The next one is Olympic weightlifting. So this contains only 2 exercises, which is the clean and jerk and the snatch. Now for both of these, you will have to train them extremely frequently, like multiple times a week, because not only do they require an enormous amount of strength to be able to lift such a heavy weight, they're also extremely technical and are quite complicated to learn. If you want to know some examples of Olympic weightlifters, you have Pocket Hercules, Matthias Steiner, Professional wrestler Ken Patera, and Clarence Kennedy. Bodybuilding is a use of resistance exercises progressively overloaded to control and develop one's muscles through muscular hypertrophy in order to build up the muscle mass for aesthetic purposes. This is my personal favorite, as it's more just building up the aesthetic muscles rather than becoming strong, which I don't see a reason to do unless you are going to compete in actual events. So in bodybuilding, you train utilizing hypertrophy, which is where you enlarge the size of a muscle by lifting a lighter weight for a greater amount of reps. So this would be 70 to 90% of your 1 rep max, typically for 8 to 12 reps in the 3 to 4 set range. Now don't worry if you don't understand this, I'll explain it more in detail later on. Now in bodybuilding, you utilize free weights, machines, compound exercises, and isolated exercises to work all your muscles. Most people use both compound exercises like the squat, the bench press, and the deadlift to work a large group of muscles effectively, and then they work the isolated exercises, which is working like a single muscle. For example, the squat will work your quadriceps, your hamstrings, your calves, and your glutes, whilst the bicep curl will work only your bicep. So, for some examples, you have Arnold Schwarzenegger, Chris Bumstead, Ziz, and Ronnie Coleman. Now, for calisthenics, this consists of various different types of only free workouts. So this does not include any machines or any resistance apart from your own body weight. So this consists of push-ups, pull-ups, muscle-ups, and of various different types of very unique, very different, very creative movements in order to build muscle. So step 4 is your training schedule. Now this is very important because once you've chosen your desired goal of what to do in your fitness journey and the type of training you want, you have to create a schedule, and you have to make sure that's realistic so you can stick to it, because otherwise all this is useless. So for example, if you're choosing bodybuilding, for example, you choose how many days a week you want to train, and that determines what type of training you do. For example, if you train for 3 days a week, you will typically do 3 full body exercises, full body training days, where you train all the necessary muscles in the body. Alright, if you're training for 4 days a week, you'll probably do 2 upper body training sessions. So this is 2 days focused entirely to your upper body muscles, and then 2 days focused on your lower body muscles. Or you could do 1 very intense leg day and then 3 upper body training days. And then you have the 5 days. If you're training for 5 days, then you can train a push-pull leg split along with 1 upper body day and 1 lower body day. Now, if you're confused by all of this terminology, then don't worry, because I will explain all of this in a video coming out very soon. Now, if you're training for 6 days a week, you could either do a push-pull legs split, or you could do a bro split. I currently do the push-pull legs twice a week, and I have seen amazing results from it. So that's what I would suggest to you, but it might not work for everyone. And then if you're an insane person, you can choose to train 7 days a week with 2 push-pull leg programs and 1 day training muscles that you wouldn't typically get around to doing. So this could be rear delts back here, your grip training days, forearm training, abs maybe. So it really depends on you. Like literally any schedule that you can fit that will best benefit you and your journey is going to be the best possible option. Alright, step 5 is joining a gym. Now this might be the worst part for you. This might be the most difficult part to do, because it's going to actually result in you putting your money where your mouth is, putting your dignity and your reputation where your mouth is, and actually going to the very intimidating place of the gym. And even though this might be difficult for you, I highly suggest you do this. And please do not worry about people looking at you or anything. Like, if you see someone who is in in a tremendous amount of tremendous good shape, and you never think that you can achieve them, remember, a few years ago they were in the exact situation that you were in. Just they executed on their vision a couple years earlier than you. No problem with that, but you cannot delay it anymore. You must start now if you want to do it. In 5 years, just imagine someone will be looking at you and thinking that they'll never look like you. I find that incredibly motivating. And don't worry if people are looking at you or anything. Most people in the gym are either focused on themselves or are thinking, good job for that person going to the gym and actually putting in the effort to improve themselves. I suggest that you go on Google or YouTube and you search up gyms near me, check through the reviews, check through the pictures, and check through everything, all the websites, find out which is the best one for you, best option for you. And I also suggest that you get a 1-year membership, because even though it's going to be a bigger bite in the future, it's always at a cheaper price, because of course they want to incentivize you picking the 1-year option. And it will also encourage you to go to the gym more due to the principle of sunk costs. So this principle, if you spend money on something like a service or a subscription, then you're most likely going to want to do it more, because you want to get the total amount of value back from doing it. Alright, so once you have a gym, a goal, and a schedule to do it, you can plan out which exercise to perform on each day. So this is heavily dependent on which schedule that you pick. So if you're doing like a full body, you have to search up like best exercise for the chest, which I believe is the bench press or the dips, and you have to choose those. Then you can choose best exercise for the deltoids, which is shoulder raise and Arnold press. And then you do best exercise for the quads, which is the squats and the Bulgarian split squats. So what you have to do, search on Google, take a couple hours, or maybe even 1 hour, and just pick a couple of exercises. There's plenty of videos on YouTube about the best exercises for each body part, and you just watch through a few of them. And you'll do great. And for the men watching this, if you want to develop the V-taper, which is like the hourglass figure of a woman, it's like the perfect male physique, you must focus on training the 6 aesthetic muscles, and these are the pecs, the lats, the lateral deltoid, the upper traps, and the biceps and the abs. These are what's going to make your physique just increase like that. You can do all these other exercises, but these will bring you the greatest return on investment.